Welcome, everyone. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge that we are in Mi'kma'ki, the traditional territory of the Mi'kmaq people. My name is Adam Clarkson, the Director of Parks, Recreation, and Culture for the municipality of East Hants, and I will be your MC today for the provincial announcement. Welcome to Premier Rankin, to Lance, and to the municipality of East Hants. And I also saw our MP, Cody Boyce, is also here, strong supporter of our community groups. So today, we're here to talk about sport, how sport and recreation plays an important role in the individual and community well-being. And we're going to hear what that means to East Hants momentarily. So I would like to welcome the Premier of Nova Scotia, the Honourable Ian Rankin, to come and say a few words.
Thanks so much for the introduction. It's really great to be here, and I want to acknowledge as well that we are on traditional and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. It's really nice to be outside as we get through our third wave. We continue to see more and more optimism as we start to open up this great province and we get our vaccines out into arms. We are the first in the country for our first dose uptake, and I'm looking forward to ramping up the second doses. I know many people are getting it at least 6 weeks early. I'm hearing even more early for some people for their second dose. So it's an optimistic time for all of us, and it's really great to be here to announce some funding from the provincial government. There are a number of projects, and being on the baseball field today is really great for me. It harkens back to when I used to play ball. Two of my main sports growing up, of course, growing up in Timberley, I played many sports, but basketball and baseball were my main ones. And I first played softball. We have a softball field behind my house. And my father was a municipal councillor when I was younger. And one of the best projects we had actually was lights like you guys have here. And part of the announcement is replacing those lights to LED. But that was one of the reasons why we were able to play later into the evening, and I remember that as a kid. And it's really great to be able to be Premier of this province to help with projects that may seem small to some, but are a big deal to people that play ball and want to have the upgrades so that they're able to play with their peers. And the benefits of sports and recreation are massive for your mental health, social well-being, and your physical health. So for kids and for people of all ages, really. And I know my friend MP Cody Boyce feels the same way as someone that grew up playing hockey and other sports as well. So when he came to me and pushed for some of the projects that we're announcing today, I was happy to be a partner. And it's great to see representation from the municipality as the good stewards operating recreational facilities. And it means so much to have collaboration amongst governments, provincial, federal, and municipal, so that we can help build more vibrant, more active, and livable communities. And so today I'm really pleased that the province is announcing that we're investing $743,000 in 5 recreation projects in East Hants. The 5 projects receiving funding are, of course, here where we stand, the ball field in Lance, the Peter Smith Memorial Park. I know there's light replacements and some drainage projects happening here. The Finley Park Trail, energy efficiency improvements to facilities in Milford as part of their net zero initiative. You must like the announcement. The 9 Mile River Trails as well, and improvements to the Walton Shore Volunteer Fire Department's Community Hall. I have the mask that they were kind enough to give me today when I visited the volunteer firefighters there. They'll be upgrading their kitchen facilities. It's a well-used community hall, and I was really happy to be there and thank the volunteer firefighters for the work that they do for their communities. It's important to know that these 5 projects are volunteer-driven and community-led. It's really important that we support our hardworking volunteers, especially as we start to rebuild our economy in Nova Scotia. It's been a tough month and a half, no question about it. The third wave was tough. We lost Nova Scotians. We're starting to turn a corner now, And as we open up, government needs to be there to invest, to build those more inclusive communities. So these trails groups, and this is their vision, are investing to make them more accessible. So those that have diverse abilities have more access, and they can get out and enjoy nature and have more opportunities, like everyone else, to go out and see and really appreciate the value of being outside for their mental health and for their well-being. Part of the investment will allow the kitchen at the fire hall to improve their kitchen area for community breakfast, lunch, and dinners. Also an important part of communities, having that space for community groups to have community events. And I was able to see the shoreline is encroaching on the assets there, so it's really important through why we have to build that resilience with climate change having more and more of an impact. And so government needs to do what we can to protect that from rising sea levels. And in Milford, the community has a dream to reduce emissions that aligns with our government's dream of how we continue to move away from coal and move forward with a more sustainable growth plan. So we need to build those inclusive communities and make sure that when we build back our assets that they're more energy efficient. So their dream of reducing emissions and their facilities to net zero aligns with us, and the funding will help with residents to achieve that valuable goal. We recognize that these facilities not only contribute to the physical and mental well-being of individuals, but are also a critical piece of the social fabric of communities they serve. So I want to thank all of the volunteers for your dedication and hard work in helping make all of these projects, these very worthwhile projects, a reality. And thank again the municipality of East Hants for being a good partner. I look forward to seeing these projects come to fruition. And I'll come back and watch a game. And I just want to extend an invite, if I can, quickly to the MP for Cody Blois, who has some first-hand knowledge about these projects that he's pushed for. Just say a few words, if I may. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Premier Rankin, and I will be brief. Just simply want to say that very pleased of the amazing community organizations, of course the 5 of them that are here, that do tremendous work, and I applaud the province of Nova Scotia, and I know Warden Eleanor Rolston will be saying a few words. Thank you to the municipality for their work in helping and support and make this all happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Premier Rankin and MP Blois. Today is certainly an exciting day for residents across our municipality. We can all attest to the importance of recreation in our communities. In fact, June is Recreation and Parks Month. In all corners of East Hants, we are working toward improving our recreation infrastructure, from sports fields like the one we're at right now, to trails, to community centers. Expanded trail systems will allow families to live healthier lives and spend quality time together. Improved sports fields will create lasting memories and get more people outside and moving. This funding will also revitalize 2 community halls, giving much needed attention to the hearts of our communities. Today's funding announcement makes 5 important projects possible. Thousands of our residents will benefit from the cooperation of multiple levels of government, and our municipality is proud to be working together with the community groups who will propel these projects forward. I want to thank the hardworking, dedicated volunteers and community groups leading these efforts. Without them, none of this would be possible. Our staff and council look forward to working together with these community groups to build a stronger community, providing oversight and coordination where needed. Now is the right time. We have the right funding, partnerships in place, and we have the resources to transform recreation in East Hants over the next few years. As we prepare for massive growth in our municipality, especially in Lance and surrounding areas, there's no doubt that our residents will enjoy the impact of this funding for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Warden. We'll now ask Robin Eisner, who's representing the Lance Recreation Society, to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Adam. On behalf of the Lance Recreation Society, I'd like to thank Premier Rankin and his Liberal government for the funding provided to the Peter Smith Memorial Ball Fields, along with all the community groups represented here today. We're all very fortunate to have many local businesses and entrepreneurs who support our day-to-day operations, but it requires substantial support to upgrade community facilities such as this one and the ones in Hants North, Milford, Walton, and 9 Mile River that are operated on the backs of volunteers. This financial commitment will ensure that the youth and all community members of Lance and the entire municipality of East Hants will be able to enjoy the various programs, facilities, and establishments that are represented here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. There are a few other of the community groups here today that have receiving support from the provincial government. I'd like to request those that are here to come up and say a few words one at a time. So I'm going to look for 9 Mile River Trails. Tyler?
G'day. On behalf of 9 Mile River Trails, I'd also like to thank the provincial government and our municipality of East Hants, and also a little shout out to Cody Blois, because without him, he kind of put all this together, got the ball rolling for us. We're super excited to be able to expand our parking lot and trail system to ensure users have a safer and an enjoyable experience. Thank you.
Sandra Watson from Milford Recreation Association.
Good afternoon. I'd like to extend my thanks to Premier Rankin and the provincial government in their support of our project, as well as the municipality of East Hants, who have been very supportive with our work that's ongoing to become a net zero facility. It was through our meetings with Cody Blois that the project became known to the various levels of the government. We've met with all levels and they've been very supportive. It's going to make a huge difference to our facility and our operating costs. We'll be able to reduce those costs and invest more back into our facilities for recreation. I want to thank you very much.
Danny from the Walton Shore Volunteer Fire Department.
I'd like to thank members of government for donating these funds to us. It will greatly improve the efficiency of our hall and help support our community, which is a community hall, which is a very important part of our central programs in our small village. Thank you.
And I'm not sure if anyone from Hants North Development Association was able to make it today. I believe they had sent their regrets, and we've had a lot of conversation with them, and they're very appreciative of the funding and the support from all levels of government. So that does conclude our announcements for the day. Premier Rankin will be scrummed with the media. We will go right over here. So thank you everyone for coming. Should also mention our mastodons will be playing catch and doing some drills out in the outfield.